The latest research shows that less than 20% of Americans are actually invigorated by their work. One guy is on a mission to change that, and our own Tiki Barber recently caught up with a man who's probably kind of a rock star in corporate America. Tiki, good morning.
He is. Good morning to you, Matt. Marcus Buckingham is a business phenom. He commands $60,000 a speech to companies like Cisco and Johnson & Johnson and has 2 books on the bestsellers list. Now his Strengths Revolution is reaching a different audience, moving from the executive suite to the classroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Buckingham.
Wouldn't it be great if you got to play to your strengths most of the time?
41-year-old Marcus Buckingham is a shining star in the world of management gurus.
What are you drawn to?
Cambridge educated, he's the author of several best-selling books, all focusing on what he describes as a strengths revolution. His mission? To get people to recognize their strengths rather than focus on their weaknesses.
Your strengths have a yearning quality to them. They're like a force inside you trying to get out.
Buckingham overcame his own weakness to reach the top of the guru game. As a child, he stuttered. Years later, his speech, once his weakness, is now his greatest strength. Businesses such as Best Buy, Yahoo, and Coca-Cola have even signed on to his strengths, not weaknesses platform.
Which do you think will help you achieve the greatest success? Building on your strengths or fixing your weaknesses?
These days, he's on a 22-city grassroots tour to accelerate his strengths movement. I met up with Marcus in Dallas, Texas, midway through his tour, where he was traveling by bus to Houston. What is your strength revolution?
The movement we're on here is the idea that in schools, in homes, and workplaces, people should be encouraged, challenged to identify what their strengths are and make a contribution out of those strengths.
Isn't there some value to overcoming your weaknesses and your faults?
There's no question that that's a fantastic way to get the most out of someone. The counterintuitive insight, though, is that you will be most challenged, you'll be most resilient when you're challenged around your strengths.
Marcus believes that a strength isn't necessarily something you're good at. In fact, it's more like an activity that leaves you feeling strong.
I believe that every single person in this room has strengths. No one is strengthless.
But are people maximizing their strengths at work? The numbers aren't encouraging. In 2005, only 17% of Americans said they were using their strengths to full advantage. And in 2006, the number dropped to 14.
It's annoying. When you work really hard on something and you see movement the other way, there's something in me anyway that goes, I've got to redouble my efforts.
Do you think a grassroots program, going on a bus tour, selling your books, giving lectures, is that the way to change the culture of strengths and weaknesses in this country?
I don't know any other way to do it. I think if you want a movement, you need zealots. To get the zealots, you got to find them.
Marcus is looking to spread the word about his movement, taking it from the boardroom into the classroom.
Schools today are anxiety-producing machines.
He's enlisted the help of Jennifer Fox from the Purnell School in New Jersey, who's developed her own strength-based curriculum.
The kids at Purnell have not been successful at other places.
My strength is competing.
She was taking a strengths-based approach to helping girls find success, even though they hadn't before. We need curriculum. We don't need just slogans.
This isn't just a soft philosophy. This isn't just about making them feel good about things. They actually have to do well here, and sometimes better than other kids, because people expect less of them.
And her students have noticed a difference. If everybody has weaknesses, what happens to them and how do you address them?
They're still there, but you work around them using your strengths.
Just knowing my strengths and knowing that I'm good at those certain things, I'm really going to take them and use them for the rest of my life.
You imagine the world of education clearly.
Marcus and Jennifer have been meeting with educators, politicians, and business leaders along the tour to try and raise awareness.
No Child Left Behind, we're leaving them behind. I think people are ready for something to add on to that.
The ultimate goal?
I'd like to see in the next election cycle, one of these candidates stand up and say, strengths is the big idea in education.
One of the reasons I'm here is because this is the kind of country which goes, who are you? What can you become? If this strengths movement does anything at all, it will elevate that idea to the national stage. I really hope you'll join me on this movement. I'm sure as Blazers you're going to see me along the way.
Marcus Buckingham plans to wrap up the tour next month in Lincoln, Nebraska, and Jennifer Fox has hopes of getting her educational program picked up on a political level. So far, she's made contact with the Edwards campaign, and they want to meet with her.
I talked to you one time. You said when you played football, it was the opposite. You would identify your weaknesses and then eliminate them. So are you a skeptic of this?
I was very skeptical at first because I felt like you have to overcome your weaknesses in order to get better. But this changed me a little bit.
Send the tapes. Tiki, thanks very much.